remember how many times I made you see this movie?
Oh, wow.
So this is like full circle, 22 years after.
So when I got home from that tour, I called Bob Iger, who's the head of Disney, and said, hi. I think
She's old enough.
Well, she's old enough, and I think it's time.
So now that you are a mother in real life and you're a mother in the movie, how did that help? Like, what was your approach? How did you see a difference?
We're not besties. We don't share our intimate lives every day. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Like, I know some of your shit.
I know, you know my shit. I know your shit. But
Just becoming a mother changes, as you said, your perspective on life altogether. Yeah. And you have this different kind of empathy and sensitivity, and the whole world just looks different when you become a mom. It's no longer about you or any other sources than your child.
So what is the mission?
I think it's really walk a mile in my shoes.
Yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
have some
fun.
Jinx. Are we the same person?
So the first thing my daughter, who's 26, told me this morning, Ma, do you know how relevant this conversation is? Remember how many times I made you see this movie?
Oh, wow.
So she was like super excited. This is like full circle, 22 years after. And I think that you need to tell Jamie the story of how this came about.
You know, full circle is a great way to describe Freakier Friday. I mean, really, it is.
Yeah, it is a full circle.
Because of our history. So Freakier Friday just happened because I went around the world to sell a movie, a Halloween movie, and the only other thing they wanted to talk about was Freakier Friday. It was Freaky Friday, asking if there was going to be a sequel. And then the kind of conversation was simply like, yes, absolutely, but Lindsay, has to be old enough to have a teenager. Yeah. And then somewhere, I think it was Australia, someone said, she is. And I was like, what? Because, I think of you like you're 15.
Yeah.
So I haven't been like adding up math. Yeah. And then they said, yeah, she's old enough to have and I was like, oh. So when I got home from that tour, I called Bob Iger, who's the head of Disney, and said, hi. I think
she's old enough.
Well, she's old enough, and I think it's time. And, anyway, that's how it really happened.
And who called who? Like, who called you? How did you say?
Jamie called me.
We were already in contact. Yeah. We were already...
Because you mentioned it to me when I was at home in Dubai, and then when I was working in Ireland.
Yes.
We kept discussing it.
And then she came to California.
Over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course. I mean, it's a wonderful movie, and we had a great time. Yeah. And it was very important for both of our careers, that movie. And so it's a natural sequel, but it just has to have math involved. So the math worked out, and here we are.
Yeah, and here we are. So, I mean, I always think that with such an iconic piece, are you worried, like, what were you thinking? What were the ideas about how the sequel would be so it could be, like, up to par, which is, I ended up even crying, by the way. We'll talk about that later. But what are your main worries when you're doing the sequel of how are we going to tell this second part of the story?
I think the main thing is that because when we got one of the scripts, it was getting closer. Or no, it was the first draft, actually. Yeah. I was shooting in Atlanta, and I got it. And I was like, oh, there's an American girl and a British girl, and they're trying to split the parents up.
Yeah. Right, there was a little...
I was like, this sounds too familiar. Yeah. Well, we need to be careful.
A little bit is okay. Yeah. Because a little Parent Trap is helpful, just because it was a Disney movie and obviously very successful. Getting it right, getting the tone right, getting the split between what we know works really well, which is me and Ms. Lohan.
Yeah, and also making sure that Harper was a different kind of character. Like she had her, because originally she was like a gamer. Yeah. And I was like, that's going to keep her indoors too much. It's not as exciting. We need something that gets her outside and is
more of an environmental kind of loving creature. And that Lily's character was more on the surface, and we wanted it to be more fashion rather than beauty because, we don't want to be promoting something where we're telling girls just stare at yourself in a mirror. So it was more about like what you wear, the fit, and all that. So we worked on it
Yeah.
a little. We both obviously had a lot of opinions.
You've walked in each other's path. You learned a lesson that may serve you again.
Okay, that's enough.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Bye. And, we also had a great team of producers, a wonderful
Great
director.
writer.
Yeah. And, once you've kind of got it laid in, at some point, it just has to come alive or not. And, it's a Disney body swap comedy, which requires your belief that people have switched.
Yeah.
And that moment in the movie is the moment of truth.
In the mirrors.
It's the moment of truth. It's either going to work or not. In the first movie, obviously, it worked. And that's when the Crypt Keeper and all of that sort of stuff happened.
Yeah.
And now in this one, the same thing happens. And as soon as we switched and it was jiving and everybody was working well together, we felt like, okay,
This is
let's go.
it. This is it. This is it. Now, this is for you, Lindsay, because I can't believe that you were actually 15, a child.
Oh, I can.
But then now you're a mother. And there's something, because I'm a mom too, there's something about motherhood that gives you like a totally different perspective on your children. So now that you are a mother in real life and you're a mother in the movie, how did that help? Like, what was your approach? How did you see it different?
I mean, it's different in the movie because she's a mother of a teenager, and that I'm not there yet.
You're not there.
But I will say that
Hang in there.
Hang in there, yeah.
I don't rush me. He's so cute right now. I will say that just becoming a mother changes, as you said, your perspective on life altogether. Yeah. And you have this different kind of empathy and sensitivity, and the whole world just looks different when you become a mom. It's no longer about you or any other sources than your child. And I wanted to show that in Anna. And you have to find time for yourself in doing these things, like Anna with her writing, and she kind of keeps it secret because she doesn't want it to overshadow her being a mom to her daughter. So I figured a way to do that was to have Anna appear now that she is really channeled more of Tess. She has a different kind of, she's a little calmer. She's always trying to maintain her cool a bit more, and that Tess has rubbed off on her. So that worked well, I think.
I can imagine that there's much more like empathy of what, a child goes through and what the mother-daughter relationship is actually, all about.
But I think it's also important because Anna chose to be a single mother. Yeah. And Tess said, if you're choosing to be a single mother, I will support you. And so I think it's also a testament to grandparents who step up, show up for their single children, for their single parent children, who say, I understand you're doing this on your own, but you don't have to be alone. Yeah. You may not have a partner in this, but
that doesn't mean
I'm going to show up for you.
alone.
And I think that bonded them. I think it tracks with Tess and Anna, and yet it's also an important message just for the world. There are a lot of single moms, a lot of single parents out there.
There's so many single moms in Mexico, and extremely courageous women that have been able to pull through maternity all by themselves, which is something that you can see in this movie, and I think it's going to be very touching. It reminded me
our
a bit of
Mexican
my mom
audience too, because my mom was a single mom a lot of my life, and so there's 4 of us, so raising teenagers and going through that, and everyone wanted to do something different. Like that was something that I could relate to Anna having. It's like, when do I have time to do something for me? I know. So I think it shows a little bit of that in the story.
But that would be lovely, because I'm sure that many single moms and followers of what we do on radio, on social media, will be listening to this. And I think that, because I'm a divorced mom, and I got divorced when my children were like 4 and 1. And one of our most profound worries always is, are we enough, and are we doing the right thing? Now you're an adult. And for all the mothers out there that think, am I going to be enough for my kids? One day your kids grow up, and how do you feel now as the child of a single mom about everything she did, and that we do see the amazing job they've done?
Oh yeah, you see it. It's in a whole different light, because you realize now, just becoming a mom in general, I realize how much my mom I'm like, you never really could sleep, could you? Because it's always like a constant concern as a mother. Are they okay? Is this fine? What time do I have to get up? Do I have to make sure this is right? And it's a constant like thoughts that are going on in your head that you're always living with as a mom. And it's almost like a guilt that you have that doesn't really exist, but you find a way to feel like it's there.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, actually, everything's fine. I need to chill. Like, it's good.
And you will be enough. You will be enough. Now, you've been, like, you have a very special relationship for the last 22 years. Like, sort of even a mother to her?
She never needed a mom. She needed a friend. She needed an older woman friend in show-off business who's been in show-off business for a long time. That's all she needed.
Yeah.
You know what she needed? She needed somebody who said, I don't want anything from you. The transaction. You know, show business, as you know,
of course.
all of us know, is very transactional. Young people in show business, it's totally transactional because they're young people being paid to do a job that's an adult's job, even though they're children. And so there's we all have some mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, there's always like a hidden agenda.
Well, the hidden agenda is we want you to do what we want you to do, but you're a child. So I am aware. I've worked with young people before. I've been the parent of young people. And my goal with Lindsay from day one was to say to her, basically, I don't want anything from you.
You've always been a safe space.
And that's ultimately
a very hard thing to find in Hollywood when you're young.
Safe. And
in general,
we may not know each other super, super well. We're not besties. We don't share our intimate lives every day. Lindsay has an adult life, but you know what I'm saying.
Like, I know some of your shit.
I know, you know my shit. I know your shit. But that's what I'm saying is it's not like I'm pretending that Lindsay and I are texting every day like, hey, hi, just woke up, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, we know each other well, but we love each other. But I do think it's an important distinction because we do ask a lot of young people in show business, and I don't. And I want to be very clear about that.
Yeah. And I heard you say, Lindsay, the other day, that one of the biggest lessons that you've had, and I think that's something that for many of us still today is like super difficult. You're thinking, what is she going to say?
What is it?
Yeah, what is she going to say?
I know what you're going to say.
The art of saying no.
Oh, yes, yeah.
No, explain that.
I think it's just growing up in the industry for me was always very go, 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 go. And you're almost conditioned and like brainwashed in a way that you feel like you have to keep going to keep things moving.
Yeah.
And in time, I learned, I'm like, but wait, where does this leave space for my real life to flourish? How do I get there? And that was it was me starting to say no. And saying no so that I could find out, I'm like, I want to know who I am. I want to get married and have a family and have my life because it's me at the end of the day. And yeah, I think no is a very important word in this industry, especially when you're coming of age in Hollywood. And then it becomes easier to say as you get older because you have other things that become more important.
Yeah, prioritizing. Now, Jamie.
What?
Jamie. I love feeling that you truly would like to help mothers be the best mom you can be. And I know that, you wrote this amazing book and it's something that you talk openly about. And there's many mothers that will listen to this and see this. So I would like your best piece of advice for mothers out there in a day and age where it is so challenging to be mothers to this generation of children with so many options, with so much information, with such a fast-moving world, like
so much access
to everything.
I'm about to say something, though, both of you may not like. Okay. I think social media is the most dangerous thing to happen to teenagers.
I'm with you on that.
I think it's poison. And I think we are poisoning our youth. And I would advocate no social media until they're of age, the same way we ask them to make those other adult decisions. I think it should be supervised. I think it should be monitored. I think the access that young people have today is going to have catastrophic effects on I think it already has. And so you may think I'm ultra conservative. I am not. Duh. I mean, just look at my life. I'm not an ultra conservative person. I believe in free speech. I believe in free choice. I believe in being able to express yourself with your own mind. I believe once you turn 18 years old, you should be able to express yourself however you want. But I think prior to that, there should be limits on what you see and what is allowed into you, particularly with the advent of AI and this fake friends, this whole, these fake online friends that aren't real people,
and the likes,
and the relationships and the competition for some sort of verification.
Big burn book.
It's
it's
really,
a big burn book.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really dangerous. And we're all on social media. We're all promoting things on social media. That's part of the game today. But I think kids should be left out of it. And I think kids on social media need to be left out of it.
That's why I don't show my son's face.
I respect you so
that's not
much,
for
my
me to
baby
choose.
girl.
No, and you know what? One of the biggest videos, like the most viral videos I posted on my social media, was the fact that by the age of 18, a child has 2,500 appearances in social media because parents are like posting, their children or grandchildren. It's crazy. With no privacy for the child.
That's just personal photos without consent.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people who bring their children into their social media.
Absolutely.
To sell things
Yeah.
without those children's consent. There are child labor laws. There are entertainment child labor laws that have been in place a long time in our industry. Specifically, I'm pointing to you because you were 15. Yeah. Oh, you were actually. How old were you when you started? Young.
Like 2.
Yeah. Like 2. But then, how old were you in Parent Trap?
Parent Trap, I was 10.
You were 10 years old. But, there are child labor laws that were enacted to protect 10-year-old Lindsays about money.
Like soap operas when I was really young. It was very, very
But,
protected.
where the money's earned is put into separate escrow accounts so that the family, there are things that happen with children.
Of course.
That are business things. But we're talking, consent is a very big word today, right? Yeah. And unfortunately, children don't have consent.
Of course.
Because they're not of age to be able to make it. So this is a big problem and one that I hope with your kind of influence and your kind of influence in the world, that people, as you say, people listen. That's beautiful. That's a good part of all of this. I hope people will listen to that. And that's not proselytizing. I'm not giving a sermon. I'm not a minister. I'm a human being who has seen and aware enough to know that the effects of social media on children is awful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So there's one more question. So what is the mission?
I think it's really walk a mile in my shoes.
Yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Have fun. Jinx. Are we the same person? Have we become the same person after all these years?
I think we're very similar people.
Wow. But have fun, feels. Using the term, feel things.
Leave feeling happy. I mean, I feel like it's a very uplifting movie.
Totally uplifting.
It's beautiful in the end. There's a lot of heart in this movie.
And I think at a time like this in the world where the world feels very...
We need a movie like this.
Kind of fractured. You need a movie like this. And it was popular back then. I think it's going to be popular now for all the same reasons.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
God bless you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
An honor for us.
No, an honor for me.